What's going on, everybody, and welcome to my first ever video on this channel. Now, what you can expect on this channel going forward is news surrounding Liverpool Football Club, transfer news specifically, my favorite type of news, match previews, match reviews, and anything you can possibly think of. So today I'm going to start my first video by doing the match preview to Liverpool versus Norwich. So the first thing Liverpool have to do to win is score early goals. Now, I've observed last season, and especially against deep line defenses, Liverpool struggle to break it down, and the earlier they score, the more of a chance they are to win the game. And the longer on the game goes at 0-0, the more likely it is to end 0-0. So I really think that Liverpool have to start off the game with a banger and just continue with that energy and see it off basically. Second thing Liverpool need to do to win that game is to play with a high energy, because last season, especially against the deep line defenses, when Liverpool play too passive and too slow, they don't score and they don't look likely to score. But when they put together a few quick passes and high energy game, they break it down rather easily. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that Norwich will play a deep line defense, because I mean today Brentford played with very high energy for a team that just got promoted. But I just think that Norwich will try to shut Liverpool out, knowing that Liverpool had problem against those type of teams last season. And you know, playing a high energy game always helps your chances, in my opinion, especially with the set of players that we have. That's the best way for them to score goals and win the game comfortably. So that's the second thing they need to do. Finally, Liverpool need to be solid in defense. So I know I said they should play a high energy game, and we all know the high line that they're gonna play, but they need to make sure that we don't get caught out on the counter, because oftentimes our high line has been exposed last season, especially against that Villa game. Oh my god, I don't want to remember that game, but yeah, against Villa 7-2, they exposed our high line even with Van Dijk and Gomez in the back line. So if Liverpool be careful and make sure that Norwich don't then counter too much and don't give them too much space to counter, they should be good for the 90 minutes. So now that I've gone through what Liverpool need to do to win the game, I'm just gonna give my thoughts on what I think will happen. So my score prediction for the game is, I'd say 3-1 to Liverpool, because I feel like, even though I just said Liverpool need to prepare for a deep line defense, Norwich, I think they will have a goal in them. Um, but overall, the night should be comfortable for Liverpool. You know, it's against newly promoted Norwich, and you know, they look so good in preseason. They ended last season on a high note, so I feel like they're gonna start the season out on a high note with a 3-1 win at Carrow Road. For me to predict the lineup, so in goal will obviously be Alisson. I mean, he did go far in the Copa America, but I just have a feeling that he will start the game. Now, I know Queenie Kelleher is likely to get a start, but I just have a feeling that Klopp will give Ali the nod. At right back will obviously be Trent Alexander-Arnold. He played very well in preseason as well, and he ended last season on a very high note. I actually have him in my fantasy team as well, so that's one thing. And yeah, Trent Alexander-Arnold will start. Now the centre half pairing, I'm gonna be boring and say Konate and Matip. I'm just not sure if Klopp will risk starting Virgil van Dijk when he's coming back from a long-term injury. And Konate, he's looked pretty decent in preseason. Matip is fit for how long is anybody's guess, but I think that will be the starting centre back pairing. Just being a bit safe and cautious, making sure that we don't damage Van Dijk's knee again, and have him stay out for further lengths of time. So moving on to left back, Kostas Tsimikas will definitely get the starting will definitely get the start because, as we all know, Roberts picked up an injury. It seems to be nothing major, but he definitely isn't fit enough to play against Norwich. So I know we could start James Milner at left back, but Simicas has been really good in preseason as well, so I see him getting the nod. Holding mid, Fabinho, no discussion needed. And ahead of him now, here is where the discussions begin. I believe that Naby Keita will get a start. Now, rather controversial, but not controversial at the same time because Naby, he had a very good preseason, much like a lot of the other players have backed to get a start. But I genuinely think Naby will get a start because Genie left. Henderson is coming back from. Front three for me will be Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, and Diogo Jota. Now Firmino, he went far in the Euros, not the Euros, the Copa America with Brazil, and that sounds controversial because I have Alisson in the team, but Alisson, I don't know. He's the keeper. He's the goalkeeper. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but I just think that Firmino is more likely to get a rest, even though he was playing well. I just think, Jota, he will be a lot fresher, and I know I don't really have much to back it up, but Jota will bring a lot of energy. Second of all, Jota brings a lot of energy to the starting of the game, and he's more likely to score than Firmino. So I would give Jota the nod.